You're listening to World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world. And here are your hosts, Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
Hi, you're very welcome. I am Ahonu, and this is my lovely Aingeal Rose. This is the fourth of our little treatises, conversations with Source about how to be in the world. And this time we were wondering what it all meant, what's been going on in the outer world and what's been going on in the inner world. And Aingeal Rose has downstepped a beautiful little piece of information that we want to share with you now. But before we do, I just want to outline quickly what came to me was that on the right side, there seemed to be like power. There seems to be power coming from the right side. Now, it could be because Aingeal Rose is on my right and I feel the power coming from her. But I felt it was like an esoteric power. I felt it was like an energetic power coming to us or coming to the earth. I don't mean us personally, but coming to humanity. And from the left side, I felt light, that there was light coming from the left. And they were meeting right in the center of us collectively. They were meeting in the center of humanity or in consciousness, this power and light. And where they were meeting was like the present moment. And I didn't think any more about that in the short term until I heard what Aingeal Rose had to say. And you'll be hearing it in just a moment, and it'll all make sense. It was about the present moment. And she talks about the present, being in your presence. You'll hear her talking about being in your presence. And that was coming down to me as the present moment. Now, what is a present? A present is also a gift. And Aingeal Rose is talking about the gift, and it's why we call this little episode The Gift of Joy. Have a listen.
This is our fourth meeting with Source. And I started by seeing the sky as if it was blank and pure white. And I felt this peace again like I did when I saw the blue light a few weeks ago. And I was shown a kind of like, it's hard to explain, like the collective belief systems and how belief systems can collapse a reality. In other words, no matter which side you're on, as long as you have deep beliefs, it can be collapsed at any moment. And then what are you left with, is what I hear Source say. And it's taken me back to when it talked to us the first week about creating love and beauty. So asking Source from a higher perspective how to see the events going on in the world. Show me a big gear in the sky and said it's the turning of the wheel from one cycle into the next. And every transition into a new cycle is a process, and it's filled with bumps and setbacks and then forward progress. So this is the growing pains of leaving the old and entering the new, which takes time. Everybody's doing their part to make the move. Sometimes it takes friction to make the gears move. And since this is about the transformation of the human, there's definitely going to be rough patches. Some people will experience illness and die, and those that leave are ready to leave. Those that leave have done their part, and they're leaving the playing field. And those that stay are here to build. So there's no use arguing about which side is more true. Both sides are part of the great turning of the wheel. But be assured, we're leaving the old. So be at peace with yourself. You do need to prepare for bumps in the road. But once again, remember that there's an order to the universe, and nothing happens by accident. The love in it is that everybody on each part knows each other. They know each other beyond this world. Some are catalysts, some are enemies, but this is the great turning. And if you remember in the tarot cards, the major arcana, the turning of the wheel is the Wheel of Fortune. And the card after that is Justice. And the card after that is number 13, the death card. And it's only after that, after we go through justice and we go through the death card, do we end up with some sort of balance and temperance. But after that, there's more. Remember, there's the devil, which is forces of evil, the evil that's still in us. And then there's the tower, which is the destruction of all things that don't have a true foundation. And only then do you arrive at the star. And that's what part of the major arcana we're going through right now.
In finding the love in this situation in the world today, I'm seeing that it's actually a good thing that people would be finding out about this. And even though some might appear to be taking sides, the fact that they are learning about what's going on and they're asking questions about what's going on and their awareness is growing about what's going on is a good thing. Because if everybody was aware and awake, we wouldn't be having this problem at all. So it's not at all about creating conflict. It's about seeing that there is an awakening going on, and that's always a good thing. It's also a part of that growth of awareness to see that sometimes people will make choices to exit, and that could be by way of taking a vaccine if it led to their death, or even contract a disease or an illness like the flu or cancer or COVID-19 or whatever it is in order for them to exit. Because it wasn't too long ago when we found out that everybody is in their own destiny. Everybody is creating their own destiny. So that has to be true for everybody. It can't be true for one and not true for another. So if somebody believes the left side of the story and is antagonized by the right side of the story, it's a destiny. And the opportunity is in that they might see both sides perhaps, or maybe will just grow in awareness because of that. And the same of the person who's on the right side of the coin. They want to see what the other is about, or to reach an awareness, reach an understanding, or arrive at love through the whole thing. This is where the love is in all of this. And if somebody chooses to exit, that's okay too. And if there's a turn of events that clears the planet of negativity en masse, that's okay too. Because the idea that we're not going to learn anything from this, or that it's just part of a cycle, or that there's no love in this is errant. It's simply not true. So the part of choosing peace instead of conflict is a stepping stone towards seeing the love in everything. They're not engaging, they're not causing more strife than what there already is. The diffusing of situations, the willingness to help, to offer help and to offer insights, the willingness to be there for people, the willingness to be that shoulder to cry on, or that place of peace, or that piece of understanding that they might need. That's where the love is. And then the final part of this for me is about fear. Because the whole world, there's no doubt, is in fear right now about all sorts. Whether it's politics, whether it's the coronavirus, whether it's food shortages, whether it's fear of blackouts, or whether it's no job because of restrictions and limitations, or the closing down of their businesses. This fear is also driving things forward and could lead to negativity. But the idea of seeing the love in it is the elimination of that fear, because this world has always provided, and I believe always will provide, and our minds are very powerful, and to use it to engage in fear is the wrong use of mind. Seeing the love in it would be using the mind for love, using the mind for creation, using the mind for helping others, using the mind for solving problems. This is my commitment.
The new world is about creating love and beauty. It's not about becoming invested in belief systems and polarities. And it said to us that the only way you can really achieve peace is to express from your own inner being. And I felt it when it said that. It was like, could you be in your own presence enough to allow yourself to make a creation out of that? A beautiful creation. It wasn't about anything negative. It was about the expression of beauty and love. So the image I got was, let's say you just wanted to spend the day painting a picture, for example, that when you woke up in the morning you were inspired to create a beautiful picture. Or anything else out of yourself, whether it was a poem, or whether it was a paragraph for a book, or something to do with business. But you'd be creating out of the sense of your own being. And this is the reason also why it has led us into asking what the love is in every situation, and then further it asked us to go to our higher minds through wormholes and feel what that high frequency feels like. And now I know it was doing this so we could get in tune with our own presence again. And one of the ways that it was doing that was to help us allay the temptation to judge by having us ask about what's the love in every situation. And of course, the answer we got that day was how everything is in order. That there aren't any pros and cons or who's more right and who's more wrong. It was just what is. It's just people and their destinies. But I think more than that, what I'm feeling today, especially when it showed me a blank sky, it was like you could write any of your own creations on that sky. But they should always be creations of love and beauty. And the only way you can do that is you have to be in your own presence, not influenced by anyone else's belief systems, but to be truly in your own being. So I feel that's the message. So I'm going to ask, how best can we do that? Even though it has been leading us each week into doing that more and more. But what Source is saying to me now is you have to remove fear. Because many of the things people do, they do because they're fearful of something. You know, waste a whole day doing things they don't really want to do because they're fearful. So the elimination of fear seems to be the next important thing to do. And how we do that, Source has said it has given us the blue light of peace, but more than that, we're being asked to trust the love of the universe and have faith that if you're guided one day to do something as an expression of beauty or love that doesn't seem to have a dollar sign attached to it, could you trust yourself enough and allow yourself to do it no matter what? Because this is about expressing beauty. Creation is about expressing beauty and love. And if you're not doing that, then you're wasting your time. In a way, the way out of fear is to just start doing what your intuition tells you would bring you joy that day. What would make you happy? What kind of expression of beauty are you being guided to create? It could be music, it could be a song, it could be a poem, it could be a 10-minute talk with somebody, or a painting, like they mentioned. But to allow yourself to do that and not talk yourself out of it because you're afraid of what would happen if you do it. In other words, from Source's point of view, we're wasting our time doing things that aren't that. And the real good use of time is to create beauty and stay out of judgment. In other words, we've got it upside down. We don't have the faith to believe that if we create something beautiful, that somehow that'll lead to abundance. We've got it reversed. We're thinking we have to do all these things we don't want to do in order because we need money or something. So we're wasting our lives doing things that don't give us joy because we're worried about survival. And there's a big fear around that for all of us. So when you journey to your higher mind and you go through the wormhole, go and ask, what does it feel like to be out of fear completely and be in abundance? And that's your next exercise until we meet again.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that little episode, and I hope you'll practice what Source is recommending. And we will meet again in a week's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and bye-bye.